The cynic sees only cynicism, the depressive can taint creation with one glance. Depression isn't a war you win. It's a battle you fight every day. You never stop, never get to rest. It's one bloody fray after another. The bird of paradise alights only upon the hand that does not grasp. I could die for you, but I couldn't and wouldn't live for you. It's always about timing. If it's too soon, no one understands. If it's too late, everyone's forgotten. He who takes offense when no offense is intended is a fool, and he who takes offense when offense is intended is a greater fool. Make visible what, without you, might perhaps never have been seen. Your conscience is the measure of the honesty of your selfishness. Listen to it carefully. Now this might disturb you, but I find I'm okay by myself, and I don't need you or your benevolence to make sense. A man's true wealth is the good he does in the world. I am fallen, flawed, and imperfect. Yet drenched in the grace and mercy that is found in Jesus Christ, there is strength. One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. Always be friendly, always be kind, like the most beautiful flower that you can find. It's paradoxical that the idea of living a long life appeals to everyone, but the idea of getting old doesn't appeal to anyone. It does not matter how slowly you go so long as you do not stop. Hearts can't be broken because they're made of marzipan. Too many doubts grow in the cracks of silence and separation. Wisdom is being able to see the world for what it is, rather than what you want it to be. He who jumps into the void owes no explanation to those who stand and watch. I failed to communicate. That's why I chose to leave. Your heart is a powerful force. Use it consciously. Sometimes the only reason for us to be somewhere else is to see things from a different perspective. I keep telling my students to never give up chasing your dreams. And I too will never give up chasing my dreams. We could never learn to be brave and patient if there were only joy in the world. Accidents happen. Our bones shatter. Our skin splits. Our hearts break. We burn. We drown. We stay alive. If you tend to a flower, it will bloom, no matter how many weeds surround it. We live for our time. We do the deeds that change our world today. We are the people of the present, and now is what we say. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. Deal with your past so that it won't affect your future. Life is half delicious yogurt, half crap, and your job is to keep the plastic spoon in the yogurt. Without a sense of identity, there can be no real struggle. We are at our most powerful the moment we no longer need to be powerful. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. We are addicted to our thoughts. We cannot change anything if we cannot change our thinking. You cut me into pieces millions of times in millions of years. I will rebuild West Papua with these pieces a million times over again. Stop longing. You poison today's ease, reaching always for tomorrow. Each time we don't say what we want to say, we're dying. Nothing isn't better or worse than anything. Nothing is just. Nothing. Arya Stark. Leaving your religion and having to invent your own system of values is a big deal, after all. You can be young without money, but you can't be old without it. As the poets say, stories are truth told through lies. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. Although my memory's fading, I remember two things very clearly. I am a great sinner and Christ is a great Savior. There is no doubt fiction makes a better job of the truth. The most believable lies are the ones that are at least a little bit true. They blossomed, they did not talk about blossoming. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. The beautiful journey of today can only begin when we learn to let go of yesterday. Positive expectations are the mark of the superior personality. There is something fascinating about science. One gets such wholesale returns of conjecture out of such a trifling investment of fact. Inspiration is sometimes as simple as a shared smile. It is a costly thing, looking on the true face of love. You must learn from your past mistakes, but not lean on your past successes. Nobody is wired wrong, because there's no wrong and right in the way we are. Any serious social, political, and economic change must include veganism. You become mature when you become the authority of your own life. In a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Communism is the final logic of the dehumanization of man. Every grain of sand has an intricate role to play in this marvelous masterpiece called life. Nothing is random. Respect all happenings. You see, doing one thing differently is very often the same as doing everything differently. You know the minute you stop thinking about it, it'll happen. It is not as much about who you used to be as it is about who you choose to be. Molecules dissolve and pass away, but consciousness survives the death of the matter on which it rides. If you care about what you do and work hard at it, there isn't anything you can't do if you want to. The world is a prison in which solitary confinement is preferable. If you have not done things worthy of being written about, at least write things worthy of being read. A lot of the conflict you have in your life exists simply because you're not living in alignment. You're not being true to yourself. It is amazing how complete is the delusion that beauty is goodness. Dining with the king, your attire, attitude, and mentality must change. You don't have to make something that people call art. Living is an artistic activity. There is an art to getting through the day. We do not have to be mental health professionals to identify the traits of the possible sociopaths among us. Wherever you end up, Jack whispered into my ear, I wish you clear skies. Always. You have to notice the truth in order to be able to avoid it. You have to rise above the squabbling and chaos and keep believing. You have to always keep your goals in mind. Times stride, so uneven, some days endless, and others like the blink of an eye. He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing. A smart person knows how to talk. A wise person knows when to be silent. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. The mind once enlightened cannot again become dark. I had learned that when you want something really good for you, you must work hard for it, or you must pay for it. Victories that come cheap are cheap, those only which are worth having come as the result of hard fighting. I do not care so much what I am to others as I care what I am to myself. Life is an essay you yourself have to write, start to finish. Dreams are what keep us growing. They're what keep us alive. To give up is to let our dreams die. To say that the first casualty of war is truth is to miss the rather more important point that a principal weapon of war is lies. Give me the facts and I will determine my own truths. If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. For every expert there is an equal and opposite expert. Stress is a consequence of negative happenings or impact in life, but important is how to overcome it. If so few female geniuses are found in history, it is because society denies them any means of expression. Tongues and trees, books and running brooks, sermons and stones, and good in everything. Every life is different because you passed this way and touched history. The world needs your unique path. Chart it fearlessly. You should never be surprised when someone treats you with respect. You should expect it. The worst thing, he told me, is bitterness. People end up bitter. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. Someday people will ask me what is the key to my success, and I will simply say, good karma. After all, if you run far enough, no one can catch you. The question is not how to get cured, but how to live. You cannot change anyone, but you can be the reason someone changes.